Was JCOM meeting a waste of time? In the region, Juan Guaido supports U.S. sanctions against Venezuela's government, and internationally, Zimbabwe facing worst ever hunger crisis. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. 7-year-old Shania Ataya Prasad recently received second and third degrees burns on more than 70% of her body when her home at Monrepo was destroyed by fire last Monday. Prasad remains in a critical condition at the GPHC, but has been accepted to the Shriners Hospital in Galveston, Texas for emergency treatment. The treatment may be free, but she has to be transported via a medical air ambulance at a cost of approximately $4.8 million. A series of funding initiatives have been set up and contributions can be made to the Rotary Club of the Marara Republic Bank account 6526214, or you can visit the Shea Foundation page. A colossal waste of my time, so says PPP GCOM Commissioner Says Gunraj about the meeting this morning with the President. Gunraj told reporters that he thinks that all who attended the meeting have the same sentiments. However, when the PNC Commissioner Vincent Alexander was asked about his sentiments, he would say only that he wouldn't say it is a waste of time. The meeting was summoned by the President and included the new GCOM Chair, Justice Claudette Singh, and the Coalition and the PPP Commissioners, as well as the Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield. Gunraj opined that the meeting is premature, given that the court is yet to rule on the matter of the legality of the ongoing house-to-house registration. Gunraj also told reporters that there has been no internal meetings with members of the Commission. When asked about his acceptance of the pending court ruling, the President would only say that the government is prepared to pursue any legal action that we feel would lead to a favorable outcome to have credible elections in Guyana. Coming up after the break, Juan Guaido supports U.S. sanctions against Venezuela's government, and Zimbabwe facing worst ever hunger crisis.
Did you know that John Lewis Styles carries back-to-school items? Besides clothing and footwear, you can also get lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, and pulley backpacks from $10,995, all for the same price or less than buying online, and it's already here. Also, get a chance to win one RCA tablet every week in August. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. That's 4 tablets you can Google homework with. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
The Guyana Elections Commission will commence house-to-house registration in your area soon. You must register if you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or registration. 14 years and older by the 31st of October 2019, a citizen of a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for a period of no less than 1 year preceding the qualifying date. If you were previously registered, you will need to register again. Look out for GCOM. Make it your responsibility to get registered. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy. Contact the nearest GCOM registration office or visit our website www.gcom.org.gy.
Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill? Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient. You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass, and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So,
Let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Venezuela's government says it is pausing negotiations with the opposition because of the latest sanctions, Al Jazeera's Teresa Bow reports.
The Venezuelan government's response to recent U.S. sanctions. Supporters of Nicolás Maduro gathered in central Caracas to denounce what they say is a brutal embargo by the United States. Venezuela libre! On Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order banning U.S. companies from doing business in Venezuela. He seized Venezuelan assets in the U.S. and threatened foreign powers and companies doing business in this country. We met with opposition leader Juan Guaidó, who has been challenging Maduro's government. He says the sanctions are meant to pressure Maduro into some sort of negotiation.
The United States has announced new sanctions. I mean, there's already sanctions on PDVSA, there's already sanctions on over 100 individuals from the government. What do you think these new sanctions will achieve?
Mira, los capitales venezolanos han inundado.
Venezuelan capital has flooded the world economy. It is estimated, and it's a wide guess because of the magnitude of theft, around $300 to $600 billion was stolen from the Venezuelan people. To put it into context, that's 10 times or 15 times the Marshall Plan in Europe after the Second World War. They are part of the money laundering circuit. These sanctions are meant to put pressure on a dictatorship, and it's a tool of the free world, of modern diplomacy, to pressure a regime with the characteristics of Maduro that have relationships with drug trafficking, proven in international courts.
Sanctions like this ones have been implemented in Cuba, in North Korea, in Iran, and the leaders are still in power and the population is poorer, suffering. Why do you think it's going to be different this time?
The problems we face today are not the sanctions, it's the dictatorship. The reason why Venezuela is poor today is because they expropriated fertile land and did not grow anything in it. They destroyed national production, they stole productive land, created fake exchange controls, and internal sanctions that persecuted people. That is what keeps Venezuela poor. The sanctions that have human rights abusers, thieves, and corrupt officials as an objective are meant to pressure a dictatorship. I don't want to compare the case with Cuba, Iran, and North Korea or Syria. I don't know if the opposition had a role in those countries, how long they controlled parliament previous to the sanctions, if there were thousands of people on the street. Each case is different and use tools like diplomatic pressure, sanctions, and protests. In Venezuela, isolating any of these are a mistake.
You're talking about talks, about negotiations that are happening in Barbados right now. What can we expect from that?
Bueno, eso es una pregunta bien relativa.
It's a relative question. What can we expect from a dictatorship? Nothing. What can we expect of human rights abusers? Nothing. What we can do are pressures we are implementing, of being the majority, of institutional pressure. We could find a solution, an alternative to the conflict Venezuelans are living in. We are skeptical because they have laughed at us in the past, but we have to cover all spaces and find a solution that doesn't mean the government wins time.
Guaidó, for now, discards the possibility of a military intervention, in spite that he says all options are on the table. But government supporters say they're under attack now and say they need to be ready for what may come. They say the sanctions will not only hurt the government, but will increase the hardships they're already facing every day. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Caracas.
And internationally, the United Nations is increasing its call for help for Zimbabwe as the country is experiencing its worst ever hunger crisis. Here again is Al Jazeera.
Gideon Gaura has lived in Lema district all his life. Aged 74, he says over the years the rains have become more and more erratic. Drought induced by the El Nino weather pattern has cut Zimbabwe's maize harvest by half and reduced water levels in dams and rivers.
We don't eat in the morning and in the afternoon. We eat only at night. We eat as little as possible so that the food can last longer.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa has declared this latest drought a national disaster, and the United Nations wants more help to prevent a humanitarian crisis. It's raised its appeal to international donors to $331 million.
We're talking about people that truly are marching towards starvation if we're not there to help them. 2.3 million people in this country. By this fall, it will be substantially higher at 3.6 million people because the lean season is coming upon us. Then by early next year, we're looking at 5.5, 5.3, give or take, million people.
Those numbers mean about a third of the country's 15 million population will need food aid. Some of the money raised would be used to buy food, provide clean water, and give cash handouts to vulnerable families. But raising all the money needed could be difficult. Zimbabwe is competing with other crises around the world, such as Syria, Yemen, and South Sudan. Making an already dire situation even worse, Tropical Cyclone Idai devastated parts of Manicaland province in the east of the country earlier this year. Heavy rains, flash floods, and strong winds destroyed crops, leaving thousands homeless and hungry. The cash-strapped government says it's buying grain from other countries to replenish stocks.
We as government are doing our part. We are doing a lot. We're not merely sitting back and working for our colleagues from abroad, the UN and others, to assist us. We're doing something ourselves, and we have a whole ministry looking after social protection programs.
But many Zimbabweans, already frustrated by rising inflation and a weak economy, feel their government isn't doing enough.
2, 3.
Gideon Gaura is one of them. He only has a few bags of maize left before he completely runs out. He says he's praying for rain or humanitarian aid to reach him, whichever comes first. Haru Mutasa, Al Jazeera, Lema, Zimbabwe.
Now for your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Friday at 6 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, or you can visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Until then, take care.